Now, India Today's inside track on what Prime Minister Modi has asked respective state chief ministers to prepare on. These are the points that has been pondered upon. Of course, opening up of industries, what places can be open, how to go for opening and what to be closed, how to go in to open the industries and how must these activities begin, what are the places that must be closed, what should be done to keep red areas under control. These are the points that Prime Minister Modi has asked respective state chief ministers to come up with a report on, of course, opening up of industries, what places can be opened up and how it should be opened up and what must remain closed, what should be done to keep red areas under control. All of these are concerns that Prime Minister Modi has asked state governments to come up with a report on. Sahil Joshi joining us for more details on this. Sahil, do bring us some details with regards to Maharashtra fighting this crisis. Of course, Prime Minister Modi had a marathon meeting with all chief ministers of states last evening. And what was the concern of Maharashtra government on the whole? We understand that industries are going to be allowed to open up. In fact, many areas it's already thrown open, but except for containment zones, the rest of it, restrictions will be eased. This evening, Prime Minister is all set to address the nation. Do you think the word or two will be about how to extend or exit this lockdown and ensure that the virus is contained?
There has to be some kind of a roadmap to go further because we are entering into the sixth week now of this particular lockdown. This is the third time the lockdown has been was extended. This is the third time which we are right now into, which will be ending on the 17th of May. So obviously there has to be a roadmap further, and of course in every state the situation is different. So obviously the Prime Minister wanted all the states to file their roadmaps. What are they planning to do about it post 17th of May and what exactly their demands are, because if you see that the trains have already started, the trains have started taking bookings, the Shramik Expresses are running across India. There is a huge migration which is happening from the cities and places like Maharashtra back to the villages in northern India as well as in Karnataka. So these things are, but what is the state's plan for the lockdown 4.0? If I'm calling it lockdown 4.0 because many of the states have yesterday said that we have to be very careful about opening up the lockdown, especially in the city like Mumbai where the cases have already crossed 12,000 mark. The situation is quite tense, and obviously because of that we cannot open the whole city as usual. But the Chief Minister of Maharashtra has requested that the railway authorities that some local train services should begin, at least for the workers of the essential services, to ease out the burden on the road or on the administration, or some more facilities can be opening up. But it has to be in a phased-wise manner, and that's why, as every state has a different situation, all the states have been asked to prepare a note on that where they can open up the industries, if the industries are going to open, what will be the stages, how they are going to plan for the social distancing, because the post-COVID life is going to be completely different. It cannot be usual the way it was in the month of January. So there has to be a roadmap for that. So all these detailing needs to be done by the states. If you talk about Maharashtra, a committee of the secretaries, the officials have been formed. They are preparing the note for the state, and finally once it gets the approval, it will be sent to the center, and accordingly it looks like that on 17th the new set of guidelines will come out.
But we also hear that he's going to be touching upon migrant crisis as well. This is going to be a point of focus there as well.
Obviously, because this is the biggest crisis we are seeing at this point of time. We are seeing every day that thousands and lakhs of migrants are walking on the streets. Some people are taking the containers, whatever the vehicle they are getting. Of course, the Shramik Expresses have already started. But it's a huge crisis what we can see at this point of time. What are we going to do with the migrants who have reached to their particular states? How many days they will be put into containment zone? What infrastructure is being developed to put them in the containment zone? What is the way forward? How to keep the rural areas away from contamination? There are a lot of other issues which are surrounding this particular issue at this point of time, and that's why these notes, these inputs are needed for the center, and that's why it has been asked by the center, by the Prime Minister to the Chief Ministers that prepare note of your state, your demands, your roadmap, and
Right.
send it to the center so that a strategy can be planned accordingly for the lockdown 4.0.
Right.
or
Sahil, this is going to be a
whatever.
tough task, but respective state governments are already coming out with an exit plan. A report is being filed as requested by Prime Minister Modi. It remains to be seen what this report has in store for respective states. But nonetheless, Prime Minister Modi is all set to address the nation today, maybe with some solutions, maybe with some guidance. This will be his fifth address since the coronavirus lockdown was imposed in March. This address comes just a day after he held a marathon meeting with chief ministers on the current lockdown situation in the country, and the update on coronavirus crisis will be given in today. According to sources, Prime Minister is of course worried about migrant crisis, and he is all set to speak this evening with that regard. Also will be putting forth the suggestions that were made by respective chief ministers of states, and will discuss maybe solutions of what next. It is in his last address, in fact, on April 14, Prime Minister Modi announced a lockdown extension until May 3rd. The nationwide lockdown has been in place since March 25th to contain the spread of COVID-19, and it is scheduled to end on May 17th. This is lockdown 3.0. Will we enter into a fourth phase of the lockdown? All the questions will be put to rest maybe by 8 p.m. this evening. Paulmi joining us for more on this. Paulmi, like I asked you earlier, it is lockdown 3.0. Does it hint at a fourth phase of a lockdown? Going by the discussions between the chief ministers and the prime minister yesterday, does it look like the lockdown will be extended, but this time with lesser curbs? Restrictions will be lifted in areas where there are not that many COVID-19 cases, and in containment zones it will remain.
Well, at least if you try and summarize what the discussion was about yesterday at that video conference that the Prime Minister had with state chief ministers, that seems to be, the conclusion that you can draw out of that meeting and the viewpoints that were expressed over there. Of course, tonight when the Prime Minister speaks, he's not announcing anything concrete in terms of an extension or otherwise. He will, of course, be addressing the nation because it's been a while since he's spoken with the citizenry of the country, which is obviously growing very apprehensive since the last over 50 days now, trying to understand what is India thinking and how is India going to start exiting from this lockdown, if at all. Now, why he won't be announcing anything, it's only because he has obviously asked the state chief ministers to come back to him with their suggestions till the 15th of May. And then, of course, a concrete decision will be taken in consultation with officials from the Prime Minister's office and obviously the Home Ministry, which is the nodal ministry for, the guidelines which are being issued from the central government. The Prime Minister, of course, will be speaking about the adversities and the travails that the people of India are facing, especially the migrant laborers who are obviously caught in a situation where there are only so many trains that are running. They all want to get back home. Some of the states are allowing these trains in, some are not. There's a lot of confusion about the train fares as well. Who pays for the same? So they continue to walk on foot hundreds of kilometers. Now, that has been a sight which has, in fact, been all pervasive through this entire lockdown. And that is a very disturbing sight. And the Prime Minister is expected to touch upon that. And he is, of course, expected to talk about the suggestions made by the various chief ministers. But yes, what we can draw from that meeting, from what our sources told us about the various points that the chief ministers placed and what the Prime Minister said in his closing remarks, it appears that the Prime Minister is of the personal opinion that slowly but surely and steadily we should start looking at an exit strategy. We cannot stay locked behind our
the big
houses
question
and
remains
our doors
is it now
forever.
or is it a little later? That's what's going to be a lot more clear with his address at 8 p.m. today. Paulmi, do stay with us. We, of course, are going to go back and review what exactly the Prime Minister said in his last two addresses to the nation with regards to this COVID-19 crisis. Listen in.
सुबह 7 बजे से रात 9 बजे तक सभी देशवासियों को जनता कर्फ्यू का पालन करना है। अभी के हालात को देखते हुए देश में ये लॉकडाउन 21 दिन का होगा, 3 सप्ताह का होगा। चारों तरफ जब हर व्यक्ति एक एक दिया जलाएगा, तब प्रकाश की उस महाशक्ति का एहसास होगा जिसमें एक ही मकसद से हम सब लड़ रहे हैं, ये उजागर होगा। भारत में लॉकडाउन को अब 3 मई तक और बढ़ाना पड़ेगा।
Right, Paulami, we heard each time that Prime Minister Modi has said that the lockdown would be extended. He said that this is tough times, it calls for tough measures, it's got to be extended another round, another phase. Little did we expect that the lockdown will also result in the cases only rising. Had there not been a lockdown, one can only imagine the plight of this COVID-19 outbreak in the country with a population like ours. But despite the lockdown, we're looking at rising cases, and that the country has no respite from the number of cases that are multiplying every 2 days. Looking at that situation, we're possibly looking at a lockdown extension which is inevitable, while at the same time to kickstart some parts of the economy just to see if economy and livelihood can go hand in hand.
Well, as far as the lockdown is concerned, it was a stopgap arrangement. It was a stalling technique. We did realize, of course, quite early on itself that until there is a drug, there is a vaccine which helps us cure this virus, there is absolutely no way of us not getting infected, given that individuals get infected just by coming in close contact with each other. So this is going to be a very difficult scenario. Yes, we have to balance the health aspect of it, which is of course paramount, and then of course the economic aspect of it as well, because staying under lockdown for as long as we can is not going to be the solution, because the economy is taking a hit. The economy is completely battered. Every sort of measurement of the economy is only indicating towards the fact that our GDP has fallen, that the revenue collection, obviously the states that are complaining about it, has fallen as well. They're constantly seeking their GST compensation and their dues. They're seeking more funds from the center. This is only because there is no revenue collection that the states are making at the moment, and the exchequer is going completely dry, and that is why they're seeking compensation and aid from the central government. So we have to look at that eventually as well. Yes, the cases are increasing. That's only because obviously testing has gone up, and then of course we have relaxed the rules of lockdown, so more people are stepping out as well, coming into close contact with each other. But then again, a lot of health professionals will tell you they realize this was inevitable. So what do we do? So are we going to keep people locked up forever? We are looking at cases over 60,000. At what point do we stop?
We can't keep the country in lockdown forever. We've got to deal with it. We've got to live with it. We've got to move on with it. Maybe face masks, face shields, social distancing. That's going to be the new norm, the new way of life. Paulami, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Prime Minister Modi all set to address the nation at 8 p.m. tonight. Moving over to the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who's asked Delhiites for their suggestion on the post-17th lockdown plan. While addressing the media, Kejriwal said that he wants to know what relaxations people want, and that if they can send some suggestions to the Delhi government to see if they can discuss with citizens of Delhi and then come out with a proper exit plan. And this has been asked to be given before 5 p.m. tomorrow on the number 1031. In fact, a WhatsApp number also was announced. Delhiites can WhatsApp on this number, 8800007722. This is the number that Kejriwal has given, asking Delhiites to WhatsApp with suggestions, or even email. If people want to email, they could email at DelhiCM, DELHICM.suggestions@gmail.com. In fact, the deadline to send a suggestion is 5 p.m. tomorrow. Kejriwal also said that this government will disperse rupees 5,000 to all registered construction workers in the city, because they're, of course, the hard-hit laborers who currently need help and intervention. 5,000 to construction workers in the city will be granted, just as it did last month as well. He also announced 1 crore ex gratia for kin of the teacher who lost her life while on duty.
आप अपने सुझाव मुझे इन जरियों के इनके जरिए भेज सकते हैं। एक तो है फ़ोन नंबर, आप फ़ोन करके इस पे अपने सुझाव रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं। 1031 नंबर है, 1031 1031। इस पे फ़ोन करेंगे, आप अपनी आवाज़ रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं, आपके सुझाव रिकॉर्ड हो जाएंगे। आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप के ज़रिए अपने सुझाव भेज सकते हैं। व्हाट्सएप का नंबर नोट कर लीजिए, 8800007722। 8800007722। इस नंबर पे आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप भी कर सकते हैं, आप मुझे ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं। ईमेल एड्रेस है delhi.cm.suggestions@gmail.com। delhi.cm.suggestions@gmail.com। आपके सुझावों का मुझे इंतज़ार रहेगा। सब दिल्ली के लोग, सब देश के लोग अपने ऐसे कोरोना वॉरियर्स पर हम लोगों को गर्व है जो अपनी जान जोखिम में डाल के समाज की सेवा कर रहे हैं। इनके परिवार को, बैकाली जी के परिवार को दिल्ली सरकार की ओर से 1 करोड़ रुपए की सम्मान राशि दी जाएगी। उनकी जान की कोई कीमत नहीं है। अपने घर का कोई चला जाता है, उसकी जान की कोई कीमत नहीं होती है, लेकिन फिर भी उनके जाने के बाद उनके परिवार की मदद के लिए दिल्ली सरकार उनके परिवार को 1 करोड़ रुपए की सम्मान राशि देगी।
Now, we know all state governments are trying hard to understand how to exit from this lockdown phase, how to revive the economy. Let's get you an excerpt of an exclusive conversation that Rahul Kanwal had with Hemant Soren, Jharkhand Chief Minister, where he said that the state is currently cash-strapped, is grappling with this crisis, and that the centre must pay for migrants to travel. A few key points that he mentioned. Take a listen.
सर, आपने मुद्दा रेज किया स्टेट्स के रेवेन्यू का भी। आपने कहा कि रेवेन्यू नहीं मिल रही झारखंड और बिहार जैसे राज्यों को जो कि सेंटर पे डिपेंड करते हैं, तो रेवेन्यू को लेकर आपकी फिलहाल स्थिति क्या है? आपको फाइनेंसेस मैनेज करने में, सैलरी पे करने में, सरकार का कामकाज चलाने में कितनी दिक्कत हो रही है, उस बारे में क्या बातचीत?
हाँ, बिल्कुल नहीं, बिल्कुल ये बात हमने कहा है। देखिए, अभी जैसे इससे पहले जब वीसी हुई थी तो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने रूरल इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज़ को के बारे में कुछ जिक्र किया था, और अगर हम उसमें देखें तो वो सबसे पहले नाम अगर ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में अर्थव्यवस्था में थोड़ा गतिविधि बढ़े, लोगों को रोजगार मिले, तो मनरेगा सबसे पहले नाम आता है। उस पर हम लोगों ने थोड़ा सा उनसे कहा है कि उसमें जो अभी जो उसमें कानूनी बाधाएं हैं उसमें थोड़ा सरलीकरण किया जाए। लोगों को जो बहुत विलम्ब से ये मिलता है, उनका जो सैलरी मिलता है वो अब जल्द से जल्द सैलरी उनको देने का प्रावधान हो। कुछ चीज़ें उसमें रेक्टिफाई करने की हमने मांग की है। और साथ साथ में हमारे राज्यों की स्थिति तो ये हालत है कि 1 रुपया के लिए भी केंद्र सरकार की ओर नज़र दौड़ानी पड़ती है। और इसमें आज हमारे पास खनिज संपदा है, कई माइनिंग एक्टिविटीज़ यहाँ होते हैं, मिनरल बेस्ड स्टेट है, और आज राज्यों को मोरलेस जैसे हमारे पिछड़े जैसे राज्य हैं, बिहार है, हमारे झारखंड है, हम आज टैक्स नहीं लगा सकते। आज हम कोई भी रेवेन्यू जनरेट करने की दिशा में हमारे पास बिल्कुल नहीं के बराबर हालात है। और आज लॉकडाउन में तो वो 0/0 है। हम भी कुछ अपने तरीके से संसाधन जुगाड़ कर पाएँ। आज हम ये मानते हैं केंद्र सरकार के पास भी रिसोर्सेज जनरेट करने की स्थिति अभी खराब है, राज्य सरकार की भी स्थिति खराब है। तो आज क्यों नहीं ये आप भी अपनी कोशिशें करें, हम भी अपनी कोशिशें करें। इसके लिए हमें जो राज्य को भी अपने जो फाइनेंशियल एक्टिविटीज़ को स्ट्रॉन्ग करने के लिए कुछ रिसोर्स जनरेट करने का एक रास्ता दे, हमें टैक्स लगाने का, जैसे कई क्षेत्र यहाँ पर हैं जहाँ से हमें अच्छी रेवेन्यूज आ सकते हैं, वहाँ हम भी उसके हिस्सेदार बने।
सर, जो ट्रेन्स हैं उसको लेकर बिहार, तेलंगाना, तमिलनाडु, छत्तीसगढ़ के चीफ मिनिस्टर्स ने कहा कि ट्रेन सर्विसेज नहीं होनी चाहिए क्योंकि इससे माइग्रेंट्स वापस आएंगे और बीमारी फैल सकती है। तो ट्रेन को लेकर आपका क्या नजरिया बना? ट्रेन को लेकर मीटिंग में क्या नजरिया बना? क्या ज्यादातर चीफ मिनिस्टर्स इस बात से राजी हैं कि ठीक है ट्रेनें वापस आनी चाहिए, या आपको भी चिंता है कि ट्रेनें लौटी तो बीमारी तेजी से फैल सकती है?
नहीं, जिस तरीके से ट्रेन को चालू करने की बात कही गई है, जो मुझे पता चला है उसमें राजधानी के बराबर फेयर लगेगा, तो मुझे लगता है कि ये एक हास्यास्पद स्थिति है कि क्या उन ट्रेनों में जो राजधानी का फेयर वेयर करने की स्थिति पर हैं ऐसे मजदूर जो पैदल चल रहे हैं, जो बिस्किट खा करके चल रहे हैं, कोई मिक्सचर खा करके चल रहा है, कोई पानी पी करके चल रहा है, क्या वो मजदूर उस ट्रेन से वापस आ पाएंगे? मुझे शक ही है कि उससे मजदूर आएंगे, उसमें वही लोग आ पाएंगे जो अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं, खाने पीने के लिए अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं, जो लोग होटलों में भी रह करके अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं। हमारी चिंता अधिकतर मजदूरों को लेकर है कि मजदूर कैसे अधिक से अधिक लोग आएँ। इसके लिए जो ट्रेनें जो इन लोगों ने विशेष रूप से चलाई है, उन ट्रेनों में बोगियों की संख्या बढ़ाया जाए, ज़्यादा अच्छा है। और हालांकि हमने तो ये भी रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि चूँकि सबसे अधिक रेलवे को रेवेन्यू झारखंड ही देता है, हमको तो कम से कम ट्रेन में आज मजदूरों को लाने के लिए थोड़ा छूट मिलना चाहिए, वो भी अभी तक नहीं मिला है। हमने तो रेल मंत्री जी से भी हमने ये रिक्वेस्ट किया है, लेकिन अभी तो हम लोग अपने रिसोर्स से ही लोगों को ला रहे हैं। पता नहीं, लोगों को लाते लाते हो सकता है कि हम बिल्कुल एम्प्टी हो जाए यहाँ पर और हमारे लिए स्थिति और बद से बदतर हो जाएगा।
तो आप चाहते हैं कि जो 15% केंद्र सरकार ले रही है उसको भी ना लिया जाए? आप कह रहे हैं कि जो 15% का चार्ज लग रहा था माइग्रेंट ट्रेन्स पे, वो भी नहीं लगना चाहिए, सेंटर को प्रोवाइड करना चाहिए।
कम से कम भारत सरकार को आज के इस डिजास्टर में तो मजदूरों के लिए तो एक विशेष नजरिया रखना ही पड़ेगा। जो लोग आज देश का इकोनॉमिकल व्हील को मूव कराते हैं, जो अर्थव्यवस्था की पहिया को चलाने वाले लोग हैं, आज जो मजदूरों का एक नदी था, जो एक बरसों से एक बहुत बड़ा एक ये बन करके अलग अलग राज्यों में अपना ये सेवा दे रहे थे, मजदूरी कर रहे थे, लोग देश की अर्थव्यवस्था की पहिए को चला रहे थे, आज वो नदी बिल्कुल अलग डायरेक्शन लेकर के घूम चुकी है। वो अपनी घरों की ओर वापस आ रहे हैं। आज इन मजदूरों को अगर हम कल अर्थव्यवस्था को फिर से दौड़ाना चाहते हैं, उनकी पहिए को फिर से चलाना चाहते हैं, तो मुझे लगता है आज जिस तरीके से मजदूरों के ऊपर मजदूरों की जो मनस्थिति है वो आप बिल्कुल महसूस कर सकते हैं कि आज उनके मन में कितना पीड़ा है। आज सड़कों पर बच्चे जन्म ले रहे हैं, कोई ट्रेन पे जन्म ले रहा है, कितनी बद से बदतर स्थिति है। आज हमारी देश की चिंता आज जो सबसे गरीब इस तरीके के मजदूर हैं, इन पर हम लोगों की होनी चाहिए। और आखिर इतने दिनों तक लॉकडाउन रहा, इतनी चीज़ें इतनी चली, उसमें आज ऐसा क्या आन पड़ा कि हम उन मजदूरों के विषय में बिल्कुल नज़रअंदाज करें और उनसे पैसे लेने की बात करें। ये तो मुझे लगता है कहीं से ठीक नहीं है। आज इसको लेकर के तो केंद्र सरकार को निश्चित रूप से उस ये मजदूरों की आने जाने के लिए बिल्कुल अपने ये पे लेना चाहिए।
Well, India is mulling its lockdown exit plan and its next course of action. Other countries have started easing curbs and life is slowly returning to normalcy. From France to Spain, European nations are beginning to open up. However, a post-pandemic world looks completely different. To know more, let's take a look at this report.
France is cautiously emerging from one of Europe's strictest lockdowns. The 8-week lockdown that was imposed on the 17th of March has been gradually lifted. Shops and hair salons are now open, and people can now venture out without a government-mandated form. But it's not business as usual. Paris still remains a red zone, and the French government has warned that the lockdown will be reimposed if infections resurface.
If the virus were to resume its wild rush, with lack of control and a risk to French people's health, we would again take lockdown measures, by zone, differentiated, as we have been doing in the beginning, and see if the population is in danger.
In London, traffic returned to the roads as many confused Brits headed back to work. While the British Prime Minister has said that the lockdown will not end yet, he did encourage some people to return to work. From the 13th of May, people will be allowed to exercise more. Some manufacturing workers could also go back to work.
We have made progress in satisfying at least some of the conditions I have given. We have by no means fulfilled all of them. And so, no, this is not the time simply to end the lockdown this week. We said that you should work from home if you can and only go to work if you must. at the earliest by July.
Boris Johnson is expected to give details of how to get the economy back to work after his attempt to plot a nuanced exit from the coronavirus lockdown prompted confusion. Spain has a four-phase plan to lift the coronavirus lockdown as it prepares to return to normal by the end of June. In Sevilla, bars have started to open as the city enters the second phase of lockdown. Bars and restaurants can also reopen their terraces with no more than 50% occupation. Hotels and other tourist accommodations can also now reopen. Madrid, however, still remains closed as it remains in the initial phase of the plan to ease the lockdown. As China has eased its lockdown measures and gradually reopened its economic activities, major projects resumed in North China's Hebei province and Central China's Henan province. In South China's Hainan province, over 11,700 graduating students from 13 colleges returned to campus over this weekend. Shanghai's Disneyland is all set to reopen its doors to the public. The park, which has been closed since January the 25th, will be the first of 6 major theme parks around the world to reopen since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The theme park will implement various health and safety measures as well as limit the number of visitors to 30% of its normal capacity upon its reopening. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, France is cautiously emerging from one of Europe's strictest lockdowns. The 8-week lockdown that was imposed on the 17th of March has now been gradually lifted. India Today's Koel Puri brings you a report from Paris on day 1 of the deconfinement.
Today is day 1 of deconfinement here in France, which means that you can actually step out without a permission slip. But as you can see, not a lot has changed because the streets are still kind of empty. But the noise level has certainly gone up with the resumption of traffic and construction. It seems that people have really understood that deconfinement doesn't mean that COVID-19 has been conquered. All it means is that if you get sick, you will have space in the hospital. Especially in red zones like Paris, we have been advised to maintain strict social distance, work from home where we can, and send our kids to school only at our own discretion. The government schools, of course, have reopened, but they are not at full capacity and they will prioritize kids of essential workers. The restaurants, parks haven't reopened. It's not so easy to come out of deconfinement after 60-odd days of confinement. People in France are very tactile. They will not be kissing people in greeting as is usual. And I wonder what will happen to the sense of community when you are anxious about your own personal safety. What has really been helpful is the government has always been extremely clear and authoritative with its policies, which has helped all us French people or us people who live in France be very disciplined and prudent at the same time. But I know what I'm going to be doing on this first day of deconfinement is enjoy this blue sky and go for a nice long walk without permission.
On that note, it's a wrap on this bulletin. For further news and updates, you can log on to indiatoday.in for coronavirus-related news. Download the app. Stay home, stay safe. News and updates continue on the other side.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.